everyone. Today I am going to be reviewing Stranger Things Season 3, and can I tell you, it was an amazing season. Let's get into the characters. First, I'd like to talk about the Scoop Troop, which was Steve, Dustin, Erica and Robin. I thought it was really well done. They didn't feel like side characters, they felt really well written, and I loved Robin and Erica this season. Thought they were very well done, and the actors are amazing. Last season we got Mum Steve, this season we got Dad Dustin, and Dustin was giving Steve advice this season, which I found amazing. Robin was surprisingly amazing, and I really loved her character. Her whole story was amazing, and the fact when they were drugged by the Russians because they ended up cracking a Russian translation and a code, I really loved that whole story, and her and Steve this season were really good. I was hoping they'd end up being a couple, but I found it so amazing the fact that Robin ended up being a lesbian, which I thought was really well done, and I'm glad that Stranger Things is finally getting more characters with different sexualities, and they hinted at Will being gay as well. I think that was a hint at Will being gay. I thought that was really, it was so good the way they wrote that whole thing. Dustin, after he came back from summer camp, was left by all of his friends, which I found really important for his character, and him at the end of the season with Susie singing was amazing. Gaten Matarazzo, he was on Les Miserables, and I hope I pronounced that right, I don't know. He is an amazing singer, and I loved his voice. Dustin's always an amazing character, so we're fine with that. Erica, she made a great first impression last season. I loved the whole Scoop Troop, as they called themselves in the finale, was really well done. So next I'm going to be talking about Eleven and Max. So that was a very, very well written friendship. You could see that Millie Bobby Brown and Sadie Sink had bonded on set as well. You could see their friendship shining through in their performance, which was amazing, by the way. The performance was incredible. I loved when Max ended up causing Eleven to dump Mike, which was very well done, and I think that was very important for her character. And nothing else to say. Let's move on to Hopper and Joyce. Hopper and Joyce were amazing this season. They didn't get left out at all, which was really very well done. The Duffer Brothers are incredible with not making characters be not forgetting characters. Hopper this season, with his whole relationship with Joyce, him having a heart-to-heart with Eleven and Mike, which he didn't even know what a heart-to-heart was, which I found David Harbour is an amazing actor, and through him saying what's a heart, I think he said what's a heart-to-heart, or what's that, when Joyce suggested a heart-to-heart. I found that very believable. David Harbour was amazing. I found his whole action sequences incredible. Joyce this season was, she at the start of the season was confused by her magnets falling off the fridge, which set her to think the lab was back, which she wasn't totally wrong about. It was just a Russian lab trying to open the gate. I found Joyce's whole story this season very fun, and her being kind of Hopper's sidekick, was very, very well done. And through their adventures, they ended up meeting Alexei, who's a Russian scientist, and Murray from last season, which loved Alexei and Murray. I will be talking about Alexei very soon. And I found the whole Hopper and Joyce story this season very well done, and I'll talk more about Hopper soon after Eleven and Mike. Eleven and Mike were an amazing relationship this season. It was about time, after 2 seasons of building up that relationship and finally seeing them kiss more, which I found, I think, now that Finn Wolfhard and Millie Bobby Brown are more grown up, they probably didn't find that as awkward anymore. They're probably used to it from the last 2 seasons anyway. I found that their whole relationship was very important this season. I think Eleven and Mike breaking up in episode 2 was very important for their characters this season, and the whole story of Eleven and Mike this season was really well done and really well written, and I think, and I'm hoping for more Eleven and Mike next season, even though Eleven has moved away and by the end of the season doesn't have her powers anymore. I found her and Eleven and Mike's conversation in the store very believable, with teenage awkwardness, and partly Finn Wolfhard improvised most of his lines in that scene, which I think he did very well. Finn Wolfhard's a phenomenal actor. So is Millie Bobby Brown, which makes all the actors in this show are phenomenal, and I really loved Eleven and Mike's whole relationship this season, and the whole store montage of both of them, like Eleven having fun with Max around the mall, and then Mike trying to buy a gift for Eleven so he could make up for Hopper making him kind of split apart from her. I found their story very, very amazing this season, and I'm hoping we get more of them next season, if there is another season, which I'm really hoping there is, to kind of set it up in the end credit scene. And I think it was very interesting to see, especially Finn Wolfhard and Millie Bobby Brown grown up, like remember season 1 when they were just, I won't say little because they're younger than me, obviously. No, they're not. They're older than me. What am I talking about? I won't call them little. They were younger and they were so small, and now they've had. So Eleven and Mike, incredible this season. I'm hoping we get more of their relationship if there is a 4th season, which the Duffer Brothers said they want to do at least 4 seasons. So Hopper next. Hopper, the dad side of Hopper, this is what we're talking about, I thought was so well written, and I think David Harbour did an amazing job of acting like a dad, and he was just wanted to protect Eleven, and that meant taking Mike away from her. I thought his character this season was really, really well done, and David Harbour did an amazing job. His acting is incredible, and you can see the emotions. You can see all of his emotions. His whole fighting at the Russian base was incredible. I found Hopper's fighting this season to be very believable, because he's not gonna throw a bunch of punches and hit everyone, which I think Hopper going against a more, well, I won't say more fit, but like a more trained fighter, great challenge for his character this season. And spoiler alert, his death at the end was so impactful and incredibly written. I found it like so emotional, and you could see, even if you didn't really pay much attention to Hopper's character, you could still, through the other actors, all the other actors and actresses in this show's performances, their characters, you could see that it was very impactful. And I found his whole speech at the end was really well done, and it was really tear-jerking. And I hope, even though Hopper is dead, I hope they could bring him back, and if he is fully dead, to bring him back in more like flashback type things. Billy is who we're talking about next. Billy Dacre Montgomery, I hope I'm saying that right, it's either Dacre or Docker. Incredible actor. Didn't do much last season, but this season was incredible. Him at the first episode was just like his whole thing, all the kids, like mums and stuff, were trying to get him, which was, I found, super funny. And his whole thing by the end of episode 1 was that he was going to go on a date with Mike's mum, which Mike's mum decided not to leave and go on that date, which ended up Billy crashing into next to a warehouse, where he got dragged by an early form of like a mind flare, and hits the mind flare in a small, like, it wasn't the mind flare, it was just a bit of the mind flare. It was a bit of the mind flare that flew away from Will last season. I found it very believable that Billy had been possessed, and the whole thing this season, Billy versus 11, and Dacre Montgomery was amazing. I can't remember what episode it was. I think it was episode 6 or 7. His whole his whole speech type thing with 11, saying that he had the mind flare and him had built it for her, and all the people were exploding and forming a smaller mind flare. Very, very like well written for the season. And now we're going into the funnier aspects of Stranger Things 3. Alexei was very surprisingly good this season. I don't know the actor's name, but the actor was incredible. I don't think the actor is Russian, but Alexei, was sad. Even though he wasn't a main character, I found his death at the end sad. And I love the whole thing. I love Alexei as a character. And other than that, that's the end of this review, and I'll see you in the next one. And here is I will leave a score now.